Dear students, this is Kuldeep Singh Gaur from Department of Zoology. We'll be taking Introduction to Eukaryotic Cell, and this topic belongs to first year cell biology. There are three types of cells in eukaryotes. One are animal cells, plant cells, and unicellular or colonial forms which are called as protista. The eukaryotes, unlike prokaryotes, have extensive compartmentalization of cytoplasm by presence of many membrane bound organelles. These membrane bound organelles compartmentalize the cytoplasm into various sections involving in a particular activity, conferring the division of labor within the cytoplasm, which was absenting in prokaryotes. The key feature of eukaryotes is that they have nuclear envelope around their genetic material. The genetic material is the chromosomes or total number of chromosomes which are present in the cell, typical representative of a species. But there is a slight difference between plant cells and animal cells. Plant cells, they have cell wall, the plastids, and a large vacuole. These are absent in animal cells. Contrarily, the animal cells have centrioles or centrosome, which is absent in the animal cells. Now, this is the diagram of a typical plant cell. You can see the outermost is the cell wall. Okay, the inside the cell wall is plasma membrane. This is present invariably in all the cells, whichever kingdom it belongs to. Then the key feature of eukaryotes is nuclear envelope. Okay, inside the nuclear envelope is the cytoplasm, or protoplasm is called as nucleoplasm, and the and the protoplasm which is outside the nucleus is called as cytoplasm. This is cytoplasm. There is a big vacuole in plant cells, and such a big vacuole is absenting in animal cells. This is the vacuole, characteristic feature of plant cells only. And in continuity with the nuclear membrane, there is a organelle compartmentalizing the cytoplasm called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. This rough endoplasmic reticulum has a characteristic feature that it is laden with ribosomes. These are the ribosomes. Or you all know that the eukaryotes have 80S type of ribosomes, Swedberg units, which is defining their density and centrifugation value. After endoplasmic reticulum, another important organelle is Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is involved in protein synthesis. Sorry, glycosidation and glycosylation of the protein which has already been synthesized by the endoplasmic reticulum. One another organelle called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum is present. This smooth endoplasmic reticulum is devoid of ribosomes over its surface. That means it is not involved in protein synthesis. Rather, it is involved in another activity called as steroid synthesis. Steroid synthesis. After the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, as I've told you, is involved in glycosylation and glycosidation. That is the processing of the proteins formed. And these proteins, after Golgi apparatus, they are packed into small vesicles called as lysosomes. The lysosomes are actually the packets of enzymes, and all the enzymes are hydrolytic, and they are collectively called as hydrolases. Lysosomes have hydrolases. Okay, these enzymes are very important for the purpose of cellular digestion. Whenever any foreign body or it gets inside it gets merged with the lysosome to form secondary lysosome, and thereafter residual lysosome, and ultimately the digested food is thrown out of the body. Mitochondria, as you all know, is present. It is double membrane bound structure like nuclear membrane. Ribosomes, 80s type of ribosomes are present. However, in mitochondria, mito and chloroplast, they have 70s type of ribosome. The reason is that they arose from endosymbiotic association of bacteria with the eukaryotes. This is plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata are actually the plasma membrane is continuous at these points and providing the ability to interact with the adjacent cells. Because of the cell wall, the plant cells face difficulty of interacting with the neighbor cells. It has been done away with by presence of plasmodesmata. Then after this comes the difference is that with the animal cell is that it has cell wall. Cell wall is a non-living structure present outside the plasma membrane in fungi, algae and plants. What cell wall does? It gives shapes and protection to the cell from the mechanical damage and infections, helps in cell to cell interaction, and provides barrier to the unwanted macromolecules. The algal cell wall has cellulose, galactans, mannans and calcium carbonate, and the plant cell wall has cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and proteins. That means the cell wall has certain differences in their makeup. Now, what is primary cell wall and what is secondary cell wall? The cell wall of a very young plant cell which is capable of doing growth or making growth is called as primary cell wall. As the cell matures, its ability to grow fades away and ultimately it gets converted into secondary cell wall. This is primary cell wall. It is just above the plasma membrane. Now how does it get converted into secondary wall? It is formed on the inner side. Secondary wall forms on the inner side and towards the cell wall, sorry, cell membrane. Look, the outermost one is primary cell wall, then there is secondary cell wall, and the innermost is plasma membrane. This secondary cell wall, this cannot grow, whereas the primary cell wall, it can grow. Okay, this is the difference. Now there is one another term called as middle lamella. This middle lamella is composed of calcium pectate. It confers the plant cell ability to hold and glue different neighboring cells together. In absence of middle lamella, the cells cannot glue to the neighboring cells. Okay, this is all about the cell wall. Now come to the animal cell. There is a difference between plant and an animal cell, that the cell wall is absent in the animal cells. The outermost is the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane many a times is thrown into microvilli for the purpose of increase in surface area. Okay, the animal cells have centrioles. These centrioles help organization of spindle apparatus or mitotic apparatus and helps the cell divide into two daughter cells. They occur in doublet called as centrosome, and the cytoplasm around them is very clear called as centrosphere. In the middle is double membraned nucleus. Nucleus again contains nucleoplasm, and outside nucleus is cytoplasm. The powerhouses are mitochondria. They are also double membrane bound like nucleus. They are involved in ATP synthesis, as you know, for aerobic respiration. Outside the nuclear membrane is a rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is laden with ribosomes. They are involved in protein synthesis, as I've told you, in plant cell. These endoplasmic reticulum forms proteins which are processed in Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies affects glycosylation and glycosylation. Okay, after undergoing glycosylation and glycosidations, the proteins, they get converted into enzymes. The secretory vesicles secrete them outside the cell, and if they had to be retained, the enzymes are packed in lysosomes, which is a single membrane bound structure. They contains digestive enzymes called as hydrolases, which breaks down various biomolecules which have come inside the cell, and in condition when the cell get injured, this lysosome breaks open, and its enzyme, they digest the entire cell. This is all about the introduction of eukaryotic cell. In the next lecture, I shall take up the introduction of plasma membrane and ribosome and other such organelles. This is all in this lecture. Thank you so much.